Hello everyone and welcome to the video. It's Friday night and I've got some time, so I am looking forward to going through the fragrances I've worn in the last week. If that sounds interesting to you, please keep watching. I'm going to start with a very long-term favorite of mine, C Pasion by Giorgio Armani. This fragrance would definitely make it to my top 10 for life, as they say. I don't think we can guarantee what we're going to like for life, but I have loved this fragrance. It's been a favorite for more than a couple of years. I can wear this all year round. I like the original C, but I prefer this one. To me, it's fruitier in a more tropical direction. It's got the pineapple note. It lasts a good while too, and I can wear this. I've worn it today and I was working from home today. I wore it to work during the week. This is an easy reach for me. I know I'm going to enjoy wearing it. It's just really wonderful. That's C Pasion by Giorgio Armani. A fragrance that I wore last weekend, I think. Again, we're on Friday now. So last weekend, I broke out the Musky Garden. We are trans-seasonal here in Australia, going into cooler weather. And this last week, there has been coolness in the air. Musky Garden might sound like a warm weather fragrance, but I actually find it best for autumn, funnily enough. Works for spring as well, but it's the fruits in here that make me feel like autumn. There's cranberry in here and peach. It's divine. I actually added this fragrance to my collection last autumn and I wore it constantly for a couple of weeks. This is one of the longest lasting fragrances I have in my collection. It lasts all day, 12 hours. I can wear this to work. Ooh, I just bumped the tripod. I can wear this to work, but I tend not to because it's a really strong performer. It's a heavy musk. It projects really strongly, lasts really well. The notes I mostly get, cranberry, peach, and musk. But because I really love this and I've not spoken about it in a while, because I've not worn it in a while, I'm going to just run through the notes. We've got cranberry, white peach, and citruses at the top. Bulgarian rose, iris, patchouli leaf, Indian jasmine. And in the base, there's white musk, raspberry, blackberry, and amber. Yeah, it's musk and fruits in the base. I love it. I love it. If you like fruity, musky fragrances, I'd encourage you to give Musky Garden a smell by Manera. It's a very strong fragrance, so you have to like that, but it's very appealing to me. I remember last year when I started wearing this, I caught myself saying to myself, I smell really good, like literally without thinking. I remember just thinking that. And it's the combination of the fruits and the musks. Really, to be honest, there's nothing natural smelling about Musky Garden. It's Manera style fruits and musks, but I adore it. I adore it. So actually, I'd have to say strong, fruity kind of fragrances are my jam. And we don't get incredibly cold weather here where I live. So when the weather starts to get slightly cooler, these are the kind of things I reach for. I reach for heavier fruity fragrances. This one's not heavy at all. This one is C Pasion all year round. But something like Musky Garden, yeah, I love it for change of season. It is exuberant in its way, Musky Garden. Now, another one I wore to work this week is Entice 2, I should say, by the brand, the Arabian brand, Ajmal. The reason I started with a funny little intonation in my voice is I have changed my mind about Entice 2. When I first got this maybe 6 months ago, something like that, I really did not like it. I found it quite an old-fashioned smelling, boring white floral. Now, it is a white floral fragrance, but and they're on Fragrantica, it says white florals. It doesn't specify. But I actually think there's something very pretty about it. And I read on Fragrantica in the last week, it's meant to be inspired by one of the Chloes, maybe Chloe Love Story, if that's the name. I'm not familiar with that Chloe fragrance, but it's meant to be inspired by that. And I have to say, it is romantic smelling. It's soft, very, very feminine. I can't even say which white florals are in here. I get Lily of the Valley and probably Jasmine. I found this really lovely to wear to work. It lasts a reasonably long time. It doesn't project a huge amount, but it projects enough that I can smell it. And what I teamed it with, and maybe it's the color of the bottles that, I don't know, brought it to mind, but the Nooks, the body oil by Nooks and the floral version. It's Friday night and I can't even begin to pronounce anything, I don't think. Their body oils I've only just discovered and absolutely love. This floral version has, I think there's orange blossom in here in the oil. I don't get orange blossom in Entice 2. But like I say, it could be as simple as the color of the bottles suggesting to me that I use them together, but they worked really well. The florals worked well. I enjoyed this. And the last time I spoke about this, Entice 2 in a video, I said it was a fail, but no, I pulled it out again and you can see there's a bit of a dent in it. And I will continue to reach for this as a safe, very gentle floral fragrance that does have some staying power. That's Entice 2 by Ajmal. So yeah, another one I reached for this week for work, just as a safe work pick, is Sexy Amber by Michael Kors. Again, this is one that's been neglected by me, but is another really quite enjoyable fragrance. I don't have anything else like Sexy Amber. The amber in here is not particularly heavy. It's a very light amber. And there's, is it jasmine? Let's see. It says white flowers. It says white flowers. I suspect it's jasmine. So the only notes listed are amber, sandalwood, and white flowers. This is a very nice fragrance. I like lotiony kinds of sandalwood, and this is like that. As I've said before, the sandalwood in here is the same as the sandalwood in Sensuous by Estee Lauder. But this is good. I really quite enjoy this. But this reminds me of Chanel fragrances generally. It's got that well put together, almost aldehydic smell. But what I get, lotiony sandalwood and white flowers. The amber in Sexy Amber is fairly low key. It is there, but it's fairly low key. And as the wear progresses, more of the white florals come out. Again, it's a safe, easy reach. There's nothing groundbreaking here, but I will keep this in my collection and I'll continue to wear it to work or when I want something that's not going to offend anyone, but smells clean, put together, a little bit woody, a little bit floral. That's Sexy Amber by Michael Kors. Do we have one more work fragrance? I wore this to work this week as well, which is Flur Musk For Her by Narciso Rodriguez. Now, when I first got this, it reminded me of a very toned down version of Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, which I also own, and that would have to be in my top 10, Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. But this one is it's not the same, but it is a rose with pink pepper, and this one obviously is heavy on the musk. I have to spray it. I really enjoy this. As I say, it's a lot easier to wear on more occasions than Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. Most specifically, you can wear this in warmer weather. I remember my boyfriend said many months ago now, when I was wearing this at one stage, he said it smelled like those pink lolly musk sticks. And he's right. That's what it smells like. It's rosy musk. The peppery note in here is in here through the duration. I'm smiling because what I'm about to say is going to be really off-putting, but I don't mind it. The combination of the pink pepper in here with the rose does have a slight ant quality, A-N-T. It does smell a little bit like ants, but it kind of works, if that makes any kind of sense. This is not one I pull for a lot, but I enjoy it when I do wear it. Or maybe I wore this to bed. Now I can't remember. I have worn this to bed before. If I want something, that's gently floral, musky, yeah, and it smells like musk stick lollies. That is Fleur Musk For Her by Narciso Rodriguez. All right, now, another bedtime scent that I'm reaching for. This one, guys, is really underrated. I know it's spoken about, but I still think it's underrated because I love it. And I'll just show you. I've used 2/3 of this bottle. I think it's 65 mils, this bottle. And what we're talking about is Ebha by Razi. And I adore this. And I know it's talked about, but I think it's underrated because it is a gourmand fragrance, definitely. It smells very caramelly to me. The note in here is praline though, but to me it smells like caramel. But it's thin enough that you can wear this. I've worn this in summer. I've worn this in warm weather. And now I'm reaching for it heaps because the weather's cooled down. But it's a lovely, lovely fragrance. And it's not going to be too long. I won't even get to the end of autumn here, and I'm going to be through this. This is one I've been reaching for of an evening and wearing to bed. I've also worn this to work, however. And like I say, it is a bit thin. So it's very much a caramelly scent. And it's also got green apple in it. And the apple is more pronounced now than when I first bought this. I've had this for more than 12 months. So it's as simple as that. It is apple, caramel, and vanilla. But it's really good. And it's not a heavy one. It's thin. It's like thinned out toffee watery toffee with apple juice. Really, really good. If I want to amp it up, I add some of Dear Faithful Kayali Vanilla 28. That obviously brings out more vanilla in this. This is a great combo. And I think just because I happen to think of it, I also, and if I'm wearing it of an evening after a shower, I'll put on the Warm Vanilla Sugar by Bath and Body Works. And sometimes this, and sometimes this, and this, and delicious. And it's delicious that you can wear in the warm weather. So the featured one here is Ebha by Razi. The last one I wanted to mention, I have just pulled out this week as the weather's cooled down, and she is absolutely one of my all-time favorites. Adore her, and I'm very excited because it's now cool enough to wear her. We're talking about La Belle Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier, and divine. I wore this last night to the movies, and it's so delicious, resinous. I've had this for more than a year. I've used, look, we're past her waist there. I've used half this bottle, and it's really deepened and mellowed in the time I've had it. And what I was smelling last night was this delicious raisin, warm raisins. It's like raisins, oh, so good, with the vanilla, less of the pear. The stewed pear to me smell was coming across more like raisins. And I love it. As it sits on the shelf, as I say, it just gets deeper, more resinous, more delicious. And it's the tonka bean that I think there's tonka bean in here. And it's a very distinctive smelling. It's cool weather. As the weather cools down, it's cozy evenings. This is a great date night fragrance because it's not bombastic. Like it's not a beast of a projector. It projects enough that people in close proximity can smell it. And it wasn't a date last night. We went to the movie with friends to see the new Ghostbusters movie. It's a big hit in this house, Ghostbusters generally. So that was a fun thing to do midweek. But I wore La Belle Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier. They were the perfumes in the last week. Thank you for letting me talk about them. It's fun, isn't it? Well, I find it fun to have a look at the fragrances I've been wearing. And I know whatever part of the world we're all in at the moment, it's changing seasons. So do tell me, what's a fragrance? And, you may well be on the other side of the planet where it's moving into warmer weather. But what's a fragrance that you're excited about wearing now that the weather is changing? Thanks very much for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.